You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. If you would like to support the AstroMommy Newsletter, there are several ways to do so. Subscribe on Substack, share it with a friend, schedule a reading, check out my family's Etsy shop, Metaphysical Flamingo, or just leave a tip. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Emotional grand water trine between the Sun, Saturn, and the Moon. Feeling success through hard work. Daily horoscope for Wednesday and Thursday, June 27th through the 28th, 2023. Good morning, friends. Today feels a little bit special. We have a grand trine in the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, building between the Sun, Saturn, and the Moon. That will perfect this evening, so the whole day may be colored with this easy, harmonious, and flowing energy. Our mission and ambition, coupled with our responsibilities and our current circumstances, may feel like they are falling into place today. Before this grand trine perfects, the Moon in Scorpio makes a few tense aspects though, so we're going to talk a bit about those and then get into the grand trine. Okay, let's get into the astrology. On Wednesday, the Moon was in Libra, but ingressed into Scorpio in the wee hours of the morning at 4:55 a.m. Eastern Time. During the night, the Moon in Libra made a quincunx to Neptune in Pisces and a square to Pluto in Capricorn. Maybe you had interesting dreams, or maybe you went to sleep feeling some kind of way. Either way, these two transits represent a sort of separation from an idealized fantasy, resulting in a concrete event intended to bring peace and balance to the equation. Moon square Pluto has the tendency to be very edgy and can hurt a lot. There may have been an issue with a controlling woman in your life, or a crisis point involving manipulation or emotional abuse. Whatever the case, some deep emotions may have surfaced and needed tending to last night. The Moon is still traveling through the Via Combusta on Wednesday and half of Thursday, which is a stressed-out place for the Moon, but she is applying to a grand trine on Wednesday with Saturn and the Sun, so that may actually offer a little bit of an easier trip through the watery depths of Scorpio. The Moon in Scorpio is a time when we feel deeply connected to our emotions and may need to explore them fully and intently. It's a great time to keep a journal about how you are feeling and experiencing things, but it may not be the best time to make decisions and take action. So there could be emotional things people are dealing with today that come up as the Moon will conjoin the South Node at 8:23 a.m. Eastern Time and thus oppose the North Node. She is also forming an opposition to Jupiter in Taurus, which will perfect by 9:28 p.m. tonight. With the Moon conjunct the South Node and then opposing Jupiter, we could feel drained emotionally by whatever area in life we are trying to expand. It is a turning point where we may need to make some emotionally charged decisions. This energy may permeate the whole day, even during the grand trine. At 8:51 a.m. Eastern Time, the Sun in Cancer forms a semi-square to Uranus in Taurus, symbolizing some restless feelings, but it's not time to revolt and throw everything out. It may be something annoying that creates a setback, but just chill and regroup yourself. Then at 11:31 a.m. Eastern Time, the Moon perfects a trine to Mercury in Cancer, and this is a nice harmonious aspect that infuses the day with flowing energy. It means open communication, feelings coming out and being supported, easy travel, technology running smoothly, the printer working without jamming, that kind of thing. Words freely flow onto the page, no writer's block. Unless Mercury is opposing or squaring your natal Mercury, those transits are hard to write through. We are able to express our feelings and thoughts with clarity and effortlessness. Mercury is also only 3 degrees away from conjoining the Sun and having his Cazimi moment, so he is combust, which is not the best for Mercury, but this nice trine from the Moon, I think, mediates some of the usual detriment that comes from Mercury being so close to the Sun and not seen. Or maybe it represents the words, ideas, and thoughts flowing freely, but we are not sharing them, so they are hidden or kept private from whomever they are intended for, maybe in your journal. This evening we have this beautiful grand trine. First, the Moon in Scorpio forms a trine to the Sun in Cancer at 5:48 p.m. Then she forms another one with Saturn in Pisces at 6:06 p.m. And then finally, the Sun perfects his trine to Saturn at 9:42 p.m. Eastern Time, almost at the exact minute that the Moon makes her exact opposition to Jupiter at 9:28 p.m. A grand trine is a configuration that consists of 3 120-degree angles between planets in the same element as each other. In this case, it's the water element between the signs Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, forming an equilateral triangular shape. It represents all the blockages being removed and the energy allowed to flow effortlessly, as if a dam that usually holds all the water in a reservoir is opened and the water can then move out, going in the direction of least resistance. It's interesting because Saturn usually wants to apply some restrictions and boundaries, but with this trine energy, those borders may be washed over in a sort of surrender to the tides of the ocean, and probably the, quote, emotion ocean, since we have the moon in Scorpio. The moon and the sun in a trine indicate a time when our mission and our circumstances are working together toward the same goal. The moon trine Saturn represents serious feelings being expressed or felt that support the structures and boundaries in your life. The sun and Saturn in a trine indicate steady accomplishment, good standing with authority, and enjoying the rewards of something you've been working really hard for. So today we could experience very deep emotional feelings that correlate with accomplishing something we've spent a lot of time trying to cultivate. With the moon's opposition to Jupiter in the middle of this grand trine, I think it may represent a decision or a choice that needs to be made about how to spend the bounty we've been given. Moon opposite Jupiter can indicate excess, grandiose, exuberant, and over-the-top feelings. But if these are joyful because of some accomplishment that you've finally made, then this transit fits really nicely. I guess the only issue is to not overdo it. Have a little restraint and keep some perspective about it all. We end Wednesday night with Mercury in Cancer forming a semi-square to Venus in Leo. This is their closing aspect before they can join in Leo on July 27th during Venus's retrograde at 28 degrees. So this represents efforts at polite communication towards something you value. It could also indicate some artistic endeavors beginning to be underway, but they are still in their infantile stage, and we are still waiting for a few things to start those projects. For example, I have been feeling the desire to sew and be crafty this summer, but I have needed to clear off my desk space, which is also my sewing space, in order to do that. Yesterday, I started the process, and I am one step closer to being able to break out my sewing machine and start creating. So this transit represents delays in creative, aesthetic, or relational projects. On Thursday, the moon will be in Scorpio all day, but she will leave the Via Combusta around 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. At 4:17 a.m. Eastern Time, the moon forms a sesquiquadrate to Neptune in Pisces. This represents that the moon has put in a request for some sort of intuitive sign from Neptune, but she won't get the message until their trine, which will perfect on Friday. So in the meantime, listen to music, draw, paint, dance, do whatever makes you happy while you are waiting for the signs from the universe. Venus and Chiron perfected trine between Leo and Aries at 4:40 a.m. Eastern Time, symbolizing a nice green light when it comes to healing a self-worth issue or making something more beautiful. This is a positive transit that could boost our confidence, stroke our egos, and support our efforts at bringing value and shininess to our aesthetics. Things may look a lot better with this transit in play. In the afternoon on Thursday, the moon makes a quincunx to Chiron in Aries, so maybe those false eyelashes that you applied this morning have fallen off or you are sick and tired of wearing them. Take them off and go back to your natural look. No one can be all glam all the time. The moon in Scorpio forms a square to Venus in Leo at 5:32 p.m. Eastern Time, and this represents feeling a bit out of sorts with your appearance or your body, or maybe your bank account. The moon in Scorpio and Venus in Leo, both fixed signs, can obsess about things, diving deeply into wanting to control things. So this transit is saying, chill out and don't fixate. There may be actions you need to physically take to make things work together, but everything will turn out better if we surrender to the flow and stay flexible. This could also symbolize tensions in your communicating with females in your life. This is further corroborated by Mercury and the moon perfecting a sesquiquadrate to each other at 8:06 p.m. Eastern Time, meaning that communications are choppy, unreliable, and miscommunications are possible. Different energy from Wednesday. At 8:22 p.m. Eastern Time, the moon in Scorpio opposes Uranus and Taurus, and this could be emotional upheaval, something suddenly coming out of the blue that is disruptive, destructive, or just untoward. We could feel very uncomfortable with this energy and want to do the Scorpio thing and crawl under a rock and hide, ready to sting anyone who comes close. People may be nursing their emotional wounds and be very reactionary, lashing out at anyone who even looks at them, so beware. This is a very sensitive time, and people could feel very vulnerable and threatened during this transit. By the late evening, Mercury in Cancer forms a semi-square to Uranus in Taurus, and then at 10:55 p.m. the moon makes a sesquiquadrate to the sun in Cancer. This means that whatever emotional craziness is going down, people will at least try to communicate about it and figure it out, but there may not be anything really that can be said to fix it. It may be something that just needs to be processed, allowed to run its course and dissipate on its own. So hold space for those you love on Thursday night. They could need it. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? 3 of Wands, Tiger Iron. Quote, tiger iron balances the base and solar plexus chakras. Vital energy and creative expression merge. This stone strengthens vital energy, connection to the earth, and creativity. It makes more conscious feelings and provides the motivation for revealing them too, unquote. The Three of Wands represents something in your life that is underway and the journey has just begun. You may be feeling creative and inspired toward this new beginning or enterprise. You can see the future obstacles and are able to plan accordingly. The opportunities that life is offering you are exciting, and if you haven't already accepted one, you're about to. As the card for the day, this is a reminder that things are happening. Wheels have been set in motion, and it's time to enjoy the creative spark, the group activity, or the personal growth that is occurring within yourself as your world expands. The adventure has just begun, so have fun with it. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until Friday, AstroMommy.
Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the Tarot of Gemstones and Crystals by Helmut G. Hoffman, available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the AstroMommy Newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.